Hi everyone and welcome to my autumnal USA trip vlog. I'm just filming really quickly now whilst we're in New York because I think I would have put a few clips already in, but I wanted to film a little bit now because we've got some snacks that I want to show you guys and I want to do a little haul. But other than that, I'll love you and leave you. The first thing that I want to show you is something that's quite bookish and the rest of it isn't very bookish, so thought I'd start off with this. I got this book in Barnes& Noble. It's called Falling Like Leaves by Misty Wilson. I just thought it sounded really good and it looks really pretty as well. So I got this book and there was actually one thing that I really wanted to buy, or a couple of things I really wanted to buy on this trip in particular, and it was the Rhode Peptide lip tints because I've had one of these before and I loved it, but in the UK the shipping is quite expensive. So I was really hoping to get Ribbon, which is the one I've had before, Toast, and then the PB&J one, but it seems like they're like sold out everywhere, and everywhere just has the espresso one, which I think is a bit dark for me, so I was thinking I was out of luck, but I did find two. So I found Ribbon, which was really good, and then I found Salty Tan, which I think is like kind of a darker version of Ribbon, or like in between Ribbon and Toast. So I'm happy I got this because these were really what I wanted. And then I couldn't find PB&J. I don't think I'm going to find it anywhere. So I got something that kind of seems like a dupe, and I've already opened it, but it's the Summer Fridays one in brown sugar. This is just like kind of like a brown kind of colour, but I don't think they're as tinted as the Rhode ones, so I'm not sure about it, but still I didn't think I was going to get the PB&J, so I'm glad I got this one anyway. And then the rest of this I'm pretty sure is just food, so I thought I'd just show you a couple of things that I want to talk about because I'm just excited. I'm here with my boyfriend. I don't think I've said that yet, but we were deciding whether we wanted to get strawberries or not. We really wanted some like vegetables and fruit, but we both really like strawberries. We'll see if these are good. We also got some snack cucumbers, and that's for our dip that we got the other day, which is really good as well. I also got Takis because I love Takis, and then we got a couple of like sweets. So we've got some candy corn, which apparently isn't actually that good, but it's very like Halloweeny, so I'm going to bring these home for my family to try, and we'll just try them then. And then we've got these freeze-dried Jolly Ranchers. These are fine, like I quite like them because I like Jolly Ranchers, but I'm not like a massive fan, but my boyfriend really likes these, so I think we'll bring a couple of these home. And then the only other thing is these sugar cookies that I feel like everyone on TikTok says to buy these, and I just thought like they're probably not that good. They're just like normal cookies, but amazing. Like I'm really surprised. They're really soft and they just taste so good. And they were like $5 for all of these cookies, so it's really not that bad. But yeah, that's just a little haul. We're only really on day one. We arrived yesterday and did a little bit of looking around Times Square, but that was it. So today we did Brooklyn. We went to the financial district and saw like World Trade Center, and then we went more into Midtown and East Village, I think. So we got a decent amount done. It's like midday now, but we've been up since 4 a.m. because our like body clock is a bit off at the moment. So we're just gonna have a bit of a relax, and then we're gonna go back out, I think, just more locally. And then this evening we're going to the Yankees game, so I'll probably put a couple clips in of that as well.
I could film very quickly. We are leaving New York today, and as you can probably hear, my voice is going. I've got a really bad cold. I was up pretty much all of last night, so I'm very tired and just a bit run down. So that's not great, but we are like at the end of like the most busy and hectic part of the holiday, so it's kind of good timing. But yeah, it's also very grey today, and it's kind of raining a little bit. I think where we're going next in Connecticut is going to be like really raining, so kind of excited about that because it's quite autumnal, but also my boyfriend's obviously driving, which is going to be a bit scary. So fingers crossed. I do wish I felt a bit better because I'm obviously the navigator, so I do wish I felt a bit better. But I thought I could just quickly update you. We have the morning here, and then we're heading to collect the car. As you saw yesterday, I got two new Sunny Angels. I'm really happy about these because they're not very easy to get in England, from what I can tell anyway. And I got one in Paris, and ever since then, that was like a year ago, I've wanted more. And you guys saw I got the blowfish and the garlic, which I wanted the blowfish, and I feel like the garlic's quite cute. So very happy with these. And we went to the shop that's by the Rockefeller Center, and the girl there said that they have something new coming today. She didn't say what it was, but I was like, oh, okay. So because we don't really have a plan for this morning, we managed to get everything done, which I hope you would have seen some clips of that. We've managed to get everything done. We've done like Brooklyn, Central Park, Empire State Building, Rockefeller Center, Chrysler Building, Union Square. Like we've literally done everything at this point. We've even seen the friend's apartment. We went to Cornelia Street. So we didn't really have a plan for this morning, and because I'm feeling unwell, I didn't really want to do much anyway. And the Rockefeller's only like 10 minutes from where we are. So I think we're going to go get a coffee and go to the shop and see what the new drop is. I'm hoping it's like either autumnal or New York Sunny Angels. I'm also really worried there's going to be a queue, and if there is, I might just have to give up depending on how long it is, just because I'm really not feeling up for it. It's also still really warm and like muggy, so I don't really feel like I can like bundle up and feel good in myself, if you know what I mean, because it's still hot outside. You might have seen on TikTok there's like an Inciardi print machine. There's a couple in New York. I actually realised after we went to Brooklyn that I needed to get them. So we only had one more place I think in New York at the moment, which was the Whitney Museum, which is in the West Village, which we had kind of already been to, but luckily we, for some reason, I thought the Friends building was in the Upper West Side, but it's not. It's in the West Village. So my boyfriend wanted to see that. I've kind of seen everything last time I came to New York, so I was more just taking him to all these places. But we went to the Friends building, we went to Cornelia Street, and then we walked to the Whitney Museum, and then we walked back to the Strand. I don't think I filmed any of that because we honestly haven't really found any nice magnets, and the ones that are kind of like a bit tacky but nice are quite expensive. So we got some from the street. I'll go get them, and I'll go get the Inkiadi print to show you, and then I'll probably wrap this up. I actually think you guys would have seen the print because I got my boyfriend to film it. Hopefully the video is good and I can include this in it. I think it's a cup of coffee because it definitely looks like a cup of coffee. I'm very happy with this one. I didn't really like go in particularly wanting any of them, but I wanted one that still reminded me of New York to some extent. A few of them are a bit more like random, I guess, but this one definitely will remind me of New York because I definitely associate New York with coffee, but also I love coffee. Like, I'm a very big coffee person, so is my boyfriend. My whole family are very big coffee people and kind of honestly a bit like coffee snobs. We actually went to Tarl's Bagel yesterday in the Upper East Side. I don't think I filmed any of that. That was before we went to Central Park, and I went there last time when I came here with my family, and I did not realize how expensive it was. But beside the point, the bagel was really good. We shared a smoked salmon and cream cheese bagel, and we both got a coffee, and it was that like classic New York like drip coffee kind of thing. And I thought it was gonna be really bad, but it was honestly quite good considering it's like pretty bog standard coffee. I quite liked it, so that was good. And then I'll just quickly show you the magnets because they're all stuck together, so it's going to be a bit difficult. But this is our one that we're going to keep of Brooklyn Bridge. I just thought it was really pretty. And then these are the ones for my boyfriend's family. That one. And then this one. So yeah, I didn't really get any other things from the Strand. I found it quite expensive compared to Barnes and Noble. I really wanted to go to the Albertine bookshop, which is in the Upper East Side, but it was closed on the day that we went, so that was a bit upsetting. But I have a couple more bookshops that I want to go to on the trip. I'll wrap this up now and then I'll see you in the next clip. Okay, guys, I feel like I have a lot to update you on because I just haven't been filming. I've been really bad. Um, but I do want to just like talk a little bit about what we've done. I've filmed clips, so that's good. I just feel like I haven't really talked to you. So we're now in Newport, Rhode Island. It's actually our last day here. So I've kind of missed out on a decent chunk of the holiday. Last I spoke to you was I think the day we were leaving New York. We drove up to Stamford, Connecticut, which is where our Airbnb was, and then we just like chilled around there. I don't think we really did anything that day. And then the next day we went to Sleepy Hollow, which I definitely should have filmed some stuff. It was so cute there. I would honestly, I wouldn't go back because I don't feel like there was enough to do there, but I could live there. Like it was that kind of town. Everything was orange, like the street signs were orange, the water hydrants, I think that's what they call fire hydrants, I'm not sure, were orange and black. Like it was just so Halloweeny. I loved it so much. And there was also just a lot of like history there, which I quite like that kind of thing, especially because we don't really learn about American history in the UK. We went and saw I think it's Phillipsburg Manor, which was so interesting to hear about. Yeah, I just really liked Sleepy Hollow. And then we went up to the Outlet Mall in New York, upstate New York, not upstate, but a bit upstate. And that was really good. I didn't really buy that much for myself, but my boyfriend bought a lot for him. I got myself a New York City jumper, actually. Let me show you that. But other than that, I just got a couple bits for my parents. So this is the jumper that I got. It's really cute. It's from Abercrombie. They had a Hollister as well, which I'm a big Hollister fan, but I just felt weird buying stuff that I could buy back home for like the same kind of price. It just didn't really feel like it was actually like a good deal, you know. Abercrombie isn't as easily bought in the UK. You have to pay a decent amount to get free shipping and like that kind of thing. So when I saw this, I got it. My boyfriend actually paid for it for me, but I really like it. Yeah, there was also an Aritzia there, and I went in and it smelled amazing in there. And I was saying to my boyfriend, I was like, if they have a candle or a like spray of the smell, I'd buy it, but they didn't. So I don't know what they used in there, but I didn't buy anything because one, it's quite expensive in there, but also it's mainly athleisure, and I do actually really like wearing athleisure, but I just don't wear it that often because I feel like it's not as like socially acceptable, I guess, in the UK as it is around here. Like if you're wearing athleisure, you should be going to the gym or like going on a run in the UK. But yeah, so that's kind of what we did on our like Sleepy Hollow day. And also we just got to like drive obviously more up into the New York state, which was really nice because the leaves were starting to get orange. I would say they are only just starting to get orange. Like you can very much see the trees going from green to orange, and it's really pretty, but definitely not fully orange. So if you're ever thinking of doing a more autumnal trip, maybe push it back to like late October, November time. I think will be when it's like completely orange. But I still like it enough. It is definitely quite warm still, so that has made it a bit less autumnal, but I've still been really enjoying it. So I'm not complaining at all. I also obviously have a pumpkin spice latte that I got, but I'll talk about that in a bit. And then the day after that was our drive to Newport. So we actually went to a farm because I really wanted to try some apple cider donuts because everyone talks about them. Like all the Americans talk about apple cider donuts at this time of year, and I was so disappointed, to be honest. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't. Maybe I just had a bad one. I don't know. But it kind of just tasted like a plain donut with sugar around it. I think also I have had a cold, so maybe the flavors weren't really hitting the same as they would if I didn't have a cold, so that might be part of it. But I think I was just expecting a like appley, cinnamony tasting thing, and it just kind of just tastes like sugar and dough. So I was a bit disappointed, but my boyfriend really liked them. I actually think this is the packet that we had. I had one because I was disappointed, and he had the rest, and he really liked them. So maybe that was just me. But yeah, we went to that farm, and then we went to Mystic, Connecticut. Actually, I don't know if I filmed anything there. This is where we got our lunch, and we went to the old Mystic Village, which had like some little like spooky mystical stores, which was nice. They had like a bookshop and like a Harry Potter shop. It was cute. It was like a little mini village kind of thing going on, but like in the middle of a parking lot. So very American, but it was very cute. We didn't get anything there. I didn't really find anything that I particularly wanted. Also, books are so expensive here, so I haven't really been buying anything, but it was still cute. And then we headed to this Airbnb, which we are at now. On the first evening, we just kind of chilled. I can't really remember what we did. We just got dinner and like made dinner here and just chilled for that evening. Then we were originally planning to go to Martha's Vineyard yesterday, but we didn't end up going because the whole situation with the boat was quite confusing. We couldn't really find where you could book tickets online. You could only book tickets for bringing your car with you, from what we could tell, and that wasn't really what we wanted to do. And also, from what I could tell, you had to pay for parking in the car park. Then you had to get a shuttle to the boat, which is where you got your ticket, I think. But also, so to us, it was a bit like, why are we paying for the car park if we don't even know if we can get a ticket to Martha's Vineyard? And also, because it was a Sunday, we were like, we need to make sure we can get back because obviously there's going to be people that are going there just for the weekend, coming back on the Sunday evening. So we decided not to go to Martha's Vineyard, and we're going to do a separate trip, probably like 10 years, maybe a bit less than 10 years, where we do Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard in the summer. But we went to, I think, I don't know how to say it, is it Chatham or Chatham? I'm not sure, I think it might be Chatham in Cape Cod instead, so on the mainland. And that was so cute. I'm honestly glad we went there because it was quiet when we got there. We got there relatively early, like 10 a.m., and it got busier, but it was so nice. It was very quintessential, like American. It's exactly what I thought Cape Cod was like, but it was also kind of like England in a way. Like we went to the beach. I think I filmed some of that, and obviously it felt like we were on Cape Cod and like it was giving us summertime pretty, but it also just kind of felt like we were in like Norfolk or like anywhere on the British coast, especially with like the dunes and stuff, because that's something we have. The only difference is obviously there's like sharks and stuff, which is completely different to the UK, but um also it just seemed like a bit more pastel. Like it was kind of a shade or two lighter than it is in England. But other than that, it honestly just felt like we were back in England, which was kind of nice to be honest. And the town was really good. We got really cheap coffee that was really good. We went to get pizza, we got some pizza slices, they were really good and they were cheap. So I feel like there's also a bit of a misconception that Cape Cod is really expensive, because it was actually the cheapest lunch and coffee that we got on our whole trip so far. So highly recommend, to be honest, going there. But it was just really quintessential. I think I also filmed the church had a whole big pumpkin display. It was just so good. But yeah, that's what we did yesterday. And then in the afternoon, we came back here and we did the cliff walk, seeing all the like Gilded Age mansions, which again I really enjoyed because I like that kind of historical side of things. And then we went and got lobster rolls, which I hope I did film. But we definitely, that was one of the things we wanted to like tick off our list for America, because obviously we have lobster rolls back in the UK, but I feel like they're not as like talked about. I don't know. They're just not as popular in the UK. So we got one. I also didn't know if I was going to like it because I don't mind, like, I actually quite like seafood, but I don't love crab particularly. I've never had lobster. I like shrimp and I like prawns. I will eat crab if I have to, but like, I'm not going to go out my way to eat crab. So I was very sure about the lobster roll, but it was really good. Really expensive, but I'm happy that I did it because it's just such an American thing. And I feel like also where we are in America, their seafood is really good. It probably is the same, if not better, than some of the seafood back home. So I couldn't really say no to that. And to be fair, it did taste so fresh. Like, you could barely tell it was seafood because like it didn't really taste of seafood, didn't taste of sea. And then obviously this morning we woke up and we went to the Nitro Bar, which was another thing that I really wanted to tick off because I saw it on TikTok like ages ago when it was trending, but I obviously never thought I would go to the Nitro Bar because I never really thought I'd go to Rhode Island. But here I am, and we went this morning. It was very expensive, but it's definitely worth it. I got two drinks because, as I said, I like coffee, but I wanted a matcha because I just felt like a bit more safe with the matcha. This is the pumpkin spice iced latte. I got it with whole milk, which I was a bit unsure about because it's just a bit like thick and I don't really go for whole milk normally, but it doesn't taste too much of that. My first few sips I really liked it, and then now I'm a bit over it, not gonna lie. I feel like the coffee isn't too strong, so you have to like the flavour. And the flavour is good, but it kind of just, I don't know. I'm just not loving it because it's not fully coffee. But I would definitely finish it, so it's not really an issue. And then my boyfriend got the whipped maple sea salt iced latte, which was really good. It tasted so good. And I got the matcha version of that, which was also so good. And I've still got it. I've left it in the fridge. I'm going to drink it for like a bit more later in the day. But the matcha was so good. I would definitely recommend, if you ever happen to be here, to get the matcha. If you're not too like picky with your coffee, definitely get coffee as well. But I would say it's not very strong coffee. This coffee tastes good though. Like, I can tell that it's good quality coffee and it's coffee that I would drink normally. It just isn't that strong. So that's my little review of Nitro. I think we're gonna pack up everything now so that it's ready to go, and then we're gonna head back into Newport, like town, and we're gonna go to a couple shops, and then we're gonna head back here and check out and do the drive up to Boston. I will hopefully talk to you again, but just in case I don't, we are going to the Boston Bruins ice hockey game tonight, which is very excited. I'm really looking forward to that. And then we are going to Boston tomorrow, like into Boston. And then the next day we're going to Salem. And the next day is our last day, but we haven't really decided what we're going to do. Okay, guys, so we are now in Boston, and I thought I could film quickly because we've been in Boston this morning and early afternoon,
and I thought I could do a little bit of a haul of what I've got. Also, last night we went to the ice hockey game. It was honestly kind of mesmerising to watch, but I'm not sure I enjoyed the game, if that makes sense. But I did like watching it. And yeah, so we went to the Boston Bruins game, and we did go to the shop yesterday, and we got a shirt for my boyfriend's brother. But then we went back today, and I got this shirt, which was only $5. It's a kid's shirt, and then I also got this Boston basketball team top for my brother for his birthday because he is a basketball player. So I thought he might like that. I don't know if he will like the team, but I'm sure he'll appreciate the gift. Then, as well, for gifts, it was also his girlfriend's birthday recently, so I got her a bookmark from Beacon Hill Bookstore, which we went to literally first thing. And I found a book that I have been wanting to get the US copy for, which is Pineapple Street, but it's so expensive here. It's like $19, so I decided not to get it. But I got this bookmark for my brother's girlfriend. It's just a C.S. Lewis quote, and then I also got myself a postcard just so I can like keep it. I'll probably leave it in my mirror because that's where I have a couple of postcardy print kind of stuff, and then maybe take it to my future home. And then we went to the ICA museum, I think, or gallery, which was in the like more port area of Boston. And we went there because they had another print machine. I didn't even get to say, but the Newport print machine, the shop was closed, which was really sad. But because it was the last couple hours before we had to leave, we weren't able to like stick around to see if it opened. So I didn't manage to get one from Newport. But I did manage to get one from Boston, which I think you would have seen. I got sushi. So overall, I've got two things that I really love: coffee and sushi. So they're obviously going to remind me of this trip, but they're also just things that I really like. So I feel like I've been very lucky. And then we also kind of went a bit crazy in that shop and four got four coasters. This one is the one my boyfriend got for himself, just more to do with coffee. As you can tell, we like coffee. And then we got three of these coasters, but I'm only going to show you the two that aren't for my family because just to be on the safe side, you never know who might see this. These were the two blue ones that we got for my boyfriend's family. Let me just show you. So yeah, they're just really pretty and they're very sturdy as well. They're quite heavy, but luckily we have extra luggage for the way back, so it won't be too much of an issue. And then I think the only other thing was Trader Joe's, which we were waiting to get like all of the like gifty kind of stuff from Trader Joe's until the end of the trip. I first of all got the tote, which I did really want, but I wasn't sure. I kind of would have forgotten about it, but we saw one, so I got the tote. It's really big, which is great. And obviously we bought loads of treats, so we did kind of need the bag. And then we got quite a few like multiples of things, so I'm just going to show you the first things. We actually had this tea in the first Airbnb, which is the spice chai tea, and I got this for my brother's girlfriend. I also got her the pumpkin spice pretzels because she's a very big fan of pumpkin spice, and I know these are good because I've actually had them before. And yeah, so we got them for my family as well. And then we also got trail mix, or is it called trail mix? Yeah, trail mix, which is for just my family, my boyfriend's family. And then the last thing was these crisps, which again I have had them before, and we've had them a bit on this trip. So we got another one for ourselves, and then I got one to take home, and then I got one for my family. So yeah, that's a little haul of Boston. I did really like Boston. I found it a lot more like chill than New York, and it was a lot prettier and just a bit more like nice, I guess. But it definitely didn't feel as busy as New York or that there was as much to do there. So we're just gonna relax for the rest of the day. I might try and finish Tower of Dawn today because it's the last day of September. And then we are going to get dinner, and then tomorrow we're going to go to Salem. So that'll be really fun, and then that'll be the end of the trip. I've just come back on here quickly to say that I forgot two things, which was that we went to Blank Street in the morning to get coffee and matcha, and I had the new carrot cake matcha, which was really good. I kind of expected it to be good, but it was so good, and it wasn't too carrot cakey, but it still tastes like carrot cake, and it was very like autumnal kind of flavors. So I highly recommend that.
And also for lunch, we went to the Union Oyster House, which is like the oldest restaurant in Boston, I believe, and I feel like it's quite famous. A lot of people take pictures of it and that sort of thing. But yeah, we went there for lunch, which was like the kind of bucket list thing for Boston, and it was so good. I got fried oysters. I've only ever had them once before, and they were still really good. And then my boyfriend got grilled salmon, which was really good. So I'd highly recommend going there. I feel like for us as Brits as well, like it looks expensive, but when you convert it, it's not actually that expensive. So I do recommend going there. We did have to sit outside, but it was a nice day, so I don't really mind that. That was the two things I wanted to add, but I'll see you in the next clip. Hi guys, this is going to be the end of the video, but I thought I could just wrap up what we've done as we finished the day in Salem today and then we're flying back home tomorrow. So I thought I could just talk about some of the stuff we did in Salem and then end off this video. So we got to Salem pretty early this morning. We got there about 8:30, and I definitely recommend getting there early, especially because you can get tickets to the Salem Witch Museum at 9:45, so it doesn't really mean there's much time to kill. We went to a coffee shop which was called the Redwood or something like that, but it was the old London coffee shop. So that's where we went for breakfast. It was really good and it was really cheap, and it was very much like an American experience. So I do recommend going there. It's also right by the car park that we used. And then we basically just headed straight to the Witch Museum, which was actually not really a museum. It was more of like an experience where you just kind of hear an example slash how they say the witch trials began in Salem, and it's kind of like wax figures, and then you go into a little bit more of a museum kind of room, but honestly I wouldn't really call it a museum. I still really enjoyed it though, and I do think it was worth the money. It also just gives you a very clear view of what they consider happened during the witch trials. I think there's obviously different versions of what happened, but it was very like easy to understand and interesting. So yeah, I did really like that, and I feel like I learned some stuff that I didn't know before, especially that I didn't realize only 19 people in the end were trialed as witches. That wasn't something that I thought it was way more than that. But anyway, so that's where we went first, and we went to the gift shop, and honestly I would say that the gift shop in the museum is one of the best out of all the shops there. There's loads of like witchy shops, but they're all quite expensive and they're all kind of the same thing, and it's kind of hard to find what you want. So I definitely recommend just going to that gift shop in the museum, because for us as well, we were collecting magnets, so we managed to get a magnet first thing in the morning, and I really like it because it's quite Halloweeny. It looks like the statue in the Blackcraft gift shop, so that was kind of cool. If you've seen that, I might have had a clip of that actually. But yeah, really like that. And then I also got myself a Salem bookmark because I wanted a nice bookmark that I could have from the trip. And those weren't really expensive. And then there was just lots of other little cute Halloween things, but also witchy things. So I'd recommend that. And then we walked from there to the Charter Street Cemetery, which you also had to book to get in, but it's free. So you just kind of reserve a space. And I would say that you honestly don't need to go in there unless you're really interested in the graves and like who's buried there. But yeah, it wasn't like very clearly signposted, even though it did kind of try and tell you where people's graves were. I just found it was nice, but I don't feel like you need to do that if you're gonna go. And then after that, we walked to the Witch House, which was the only other thing we booked for, and that was slightly less than the Witch Museum. But I would probably still recommend the Witch Museum more than the Witch House, because the Witch House was cool. It's very cool from the outside. It's very like Salem and witchy, but inside it was just like a house, an old house. I think if you're from the UK or Europe and you've been to like historical sites where you go into buildings and it's like old, you probably don't really like. I didn't really find it very interesting. I guess I found it interesting in the sense that this is what someone that I think he was a judge, so he was someone with more money than most. That's how he lived in that time. But I didn't find it that interesting. So consider that. I'm just not sure if it's worth the money to go in if you're not that interested in it. And then we basically just did some shopping. As I said, the other shops, I honestly wasn't like, I didn't find any of them. I didn't find anything that I wanted to get in any of them. So I wouldn't necessarily choose one that was better than the others. And then we also went and saw Alison's house from Hocus Pocus because that's near the witch's house and it's a really nice house. And then also the Bewitched statue, but I've actually never watched that movie, so I definitely need to watch that. But that was still cool as well. So that's what we did, and then we had lunch in Turner's Seafood, which is a place that's highly recommended on the internet and on social media for a good reason. It was really good. I think it's one of the most like high rated restaurants or seafood restaurants in Massachusetts or even in America. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it was really good. I got fish and chips, and my boyfriend got salmon pasta, I think, and they were both really good. And obviously, I love fish and chips, so I found it really good, and I didn't even need salt and vinegar, which is shows how good the fish was. But that was really good, so I definitely recommend going there. It's obviously a little bit more expensive, but it honestly also wasn't that busy. It's the 1st of October today, so I thought after looking online, everyone was kind of saying it's going to be so busy, you might not be able to park, you're not going to be able to do anything, you're not going to be able to go and like get food for lunch. It definitely wasn't bad at all. We didn't have a reservation for food and we got fine. The parking, it was busy by the time we got there, but we were still on like the 2nd floor, so we didn't even get to see like how busy it was upstairs. And I don't think it was busy because even when we left, they were still letting people in. So don't let people put you off. I think definitely the first week of October, if you're going on a weekday, it's fine. Like you're going to be fine. And then after that, I wanted to go to Barnes and Noble because the books here, as I've said, I think are quite expensive. So I wanted to go to Barnes and Noble because they have more deals going on there. I actually didn't end up getting anything in the deals, but I did get, I don't know if I showed you this book before. I think I might have done. I got another copy of it because I was originally getting it as a gift for my brother's girlfriend, but I kind of wanted it for myself. So now we have one for each of us. And I also got the Caraval paperbacks because I honestly forgot that I wanted to do this, but I saw them and I was like, oh my god, I need to get these because the UK Caraval covers, but more so the spines, are really ugly in my opinion, and I put off buying them because I found the spines so ugly, and these are just so much better. So I got these. It wasn't too expensive considering it's like a box set, so I'm just hoping it fits in my bag slash isn't too heavy. But we also have a higher luggage weight allowance, so I think I'll be fine. But yeah, this was kind of a impulse buy in a way, but I'm very happy with it. I also really wanted to get the Pineapple Street cover. I think I said that, but this was more important to me, so I got this. And also, whilst we were there, I also got these bookmarks because I just thought they were so cute. So I'm going to keep one of them and then give the other two to my mum and brother's girlfriend. They're just really cute. And I know I said earlier I got this bookmark because I wanted one to remember, but now I have two, so that's all good. And then we went to the mall, which was like next door to Barnes and Noble, and I got the Vampire Blood body cream. This is for my mum. She just really loves this. It's really good, honestly. I use it as well, but I didn't use it as often as she does. It's so good. It keeps your body so smooth and it smells really good, and it like the smell stays. But she only really gets it when it's on sale, and this was 50% off. So it only ended up being $8, which is like £5 or £6, I think, which is exactly like what she would normally buy them for if they were on sale. And then we went to Aerie, which we actually went to Aerie in the outlet mall that we went to in New York, but they didn't have anything I wanted. And then this one had loads of stuff that I wanted, and it was all on sale. So I don't know what was going on in the outlet mall. Yeah, I got a whole bag. I spent probably more than I should have, but it's okay. I actually got 3 of the same jumper, which is a bit silly, but I really like it. So I got this one, and then I got it in beige, which is this color, and then I also got it in brown, and I also got the matching joggers to go with that. So it was a little bit expensive, but because they were all 40% off, I feel like it was kind of worth it, and I really love them. I also just found this set, the brown set, really good because I don't really wear tracksuits. I feel like I don't really gravitate towards wearing them, but this is kind of just a bit different to a tracksuit and they're really soft. So yeah, I got those. And yeah, so the only other thing I wanted to tell you about before I end this off is that I finished Tower of Dawn yesterday. So I managed to fit it into my September. I'm not sure I'm going to do a September wrap up because I only read Empire of Storm, Tower of Dawn, and then The Full Risk, which was the short story by Abby Jimenez. And obviously, I'm going to talk about the two Throne of Glass books in my Throne of Glass reading vlog. But I did really enjoy both of them. I gave Empire of Storms a 5 star, and I gave Tower of Dawn a 4 star, and The Full Risk I didn't rate, but it was a cute book. Yeah, so that won't be coming up, but I have actually started Phantasma. I started this in the queue to get into Salem Witch Museum, and I'm not very far in. I think I'm like halfway through chapter 2, so not far at all. But I'm gonna keep reading. Hopefully, I'll read on the plane, but again, I say that and I never do. So we'll see. But it is interesting so far. It has kind of got witchy vibes, which is fun. I might try and read a bit more tonight. But yeah, I'm going to end this vlog off now. Hopefully, you'll see a bit more of me reading this in a different vlog or just in my wrap up at the end of October. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope this is a good vlog because I haven't gone through any of the clips. I'll be doing that when I get back. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video.